My name is Hal Ottaway. I'm the son of Harold Ottaway, and his oldest brother was Herbert Ottaway. There was a very small park, a train, and several kid rides in Plainview during the war. It was Herbert and Harold and their father Lester, and then after the war was over, they started building trains at the Ottaway Train Company and Ottaway Miniature Train Company. They would make these miniature trains to sell to other amusement parks. But they did that for several years, and then they opened a park. They had this first Joyland Park there at 1515 East Central. They had that for several years, and it was successful, but they thought that they might want to do something even larger. And so what happened is that they found ground at the 2801 South Hillside, and that became Joyland Hillside Park. For a couple of years or so, both parks were in operation, but then the land that was Joyland on Central became more valuable, and then within a year or so, they sold that property on East Central and gave all of their focus to this Joyland Hillside Park. Lots going on. They had employees. They had my uncle and cousins there. They opened the 2801 South Hillside Joyland, and they had already built this enormous wooden roller coaster. If you had ever ridden the roller coaster or remembered it, it was big, and I can remember my dad tell about people they would get off work and just go there and park in the parking lot and look up and, take pictures. They were documenting and excited about what was happening with this big roller coaster. And it was scary. I can remember my mother riding it and praying to Jesus that she would never get on it again, and she didn't. She rode it the one time. It was just, there was no other big coaster like that, I don't think, in Kansas. It was kind of unique. Certainly the roller coaster was a big deal. The merry-go-round, they had a big Ferris wheel. They had Rocco planes, Rolo planes, all of these rides that came along later. A kid ride, they had a number, I'm going to think 5 or 6 different kid rides there. Boats and ponies and little cars for kids to get in and go around and around in a circle. Well, they had big picnics at Joyland. These big companies would treat their employees to so many hours or an afternoon at Joyland. The park would be closed then. It would be just open to that company. And my job was to pick up the pop bottles once the picnic and the group left. But pick up those pop bottles, sell them back to Coca-Cola for 2 cents a piece. That was one of my things that I look forward to every day. Those pop bottles had to be picked up. I was lucky, really lucky as a kid to grow up, and your dad and uncle owned an amusement park. But it was an exciting and wonderful time. A lot of changes through the years. New rides would come along. In 1961, Kansas celebrated a state centennial, and so they built what they call Frontier Town in one part of Joyland. They also built this incredible swimming pool. It was so pretty. There were very few pools in Wichita. That was a big draw to come to Joyland with all of these trees, picnic grounds. People would come out and just sit, maybe on a park bench, and enjoy watching other people. It was a park that had something for everybody in different age groups. The Dodgem cars, the Frontier Town, the old woman in the shoe, There were just lots of things to do. They always called it 40 acres of fun. There wasn't any other place like it for a long time. And people would come in, school buses, and people went on picnics and brought their families, brought their children, had reunions. It was just very special. It was just a nice offering of a lot of different things. And that's what they worked for, what they strive for, to appeal to the widest audience possible. All of those things mean a lot to me, and I'm sure they will to other people there. Oh, wow, how wonderful. And, don't I wish that my folks were still alive? And it just, I think, a real honor and a real treat. Wow. I love this. Amazing. No, but isn't this wonderful? I've been a big fan of music theater, and anything that they do at Music Theater Wichita is always the best, and you just can't believe it's here in Wichita, and it's so fabulous. And so to be tied in, it's just really great. Cats is just, there couldn't be anything bigger than Cats. Whatever happens, it's going to be first rate for sure. This is another one of those wonderful summers with Music Theater Wichita.